Tyler, thanks for chatting with me today. Tyler is our founder and CEO here at LoanFur, and he has helped a lot of organizations find really great marketing partners and agencies to work with, namely LoanFur Creative. But I wanted to ask you some questions around,
Yeah.
what you've seen be really successful in a business finding a solid marketing partner, and maybe some things that they should keep in mind. So just a few questions for you.
Sounds great. I'm excited.
Perfect. How would you describe some of the best marketing partnerships that LoanFur Creative has had over the years?
It's a great question. I would say, one of the things that stands out is a willingness to put in like time and effort. And so I think that like any, contractor, freelancer, employee, person that's going to come cut your grass, whatever it is, if you put in the time to relay your expectations and talk about what success looks like and really walk through what your expectations are, they're going to be more successful because you're going to be able to hit them versus a bunch of unset expectations. So I think just that's been a big thing. The more, you put into a relationship with someone, the more you get out of it. And it's like that. So I'd say it's like anything else. Let's see, a couple of other thoughts about it are, as far as like the clients we've had success with, most of the time they have a proven product and service. I think there's some that have come to us that, they maybe have sold it, a couple of times, or they're trying it out, or there's lots more to define around it. And then they kind of expect us to fix all those problems as an agency. And it's not necessarily an area where we can succeed, and we need their help in a lot of ways. So I think kind of that established product or service. And then two more things that I thought of. Amanda gave me heads up on these questions, just for the record, but two more things is, one is like an established target market. So who do you sell to? Yeah. What do you sell? What makes you unique? And so that it's not kind of like, we're all things to all people. You can, write any content you want. Any customer is great. Like those aren't that great because it's very generic and really difficult to figure out. Yeah, it's just really vague. So I'd say that piece. And then I just mentioned it, but uniques, like what makes you unique? What makes you stand above, competitors, or differentiation between competitors? Everybody says the same thing. Oh, we don't really have any competitors. Yeah, you do. They're always there. You might not think you do, but you do. Right. There's always choices between, this vendor or that vendor. They might do it differently, call it something different, but they're solving problems for clients. And so having uniquenesses that makes you stand apart that you can actually clarify or like bring clarity to. So those are some thoughts.
Absolutely. And like everybody has a budget and they can spend it on a million things. So even if there's like not a direct competitor for what you do, there's a competitor for that budget. How can you fight that?
Totally.
And I loved to kind of early on, you were talking about like putting in time and effort. Like when you hire an agency, it's a partner. It's not a vendor. Yeah. Like typically they're not a vendor unless you're hiring them to do a one-off thing here or there. But you really want someone that's going to be a partner and work together with you. Absolutely.
Yep. Totally.
What are some of the mistakes you've seen companies make when they hire a marketing agency?
Yeah, this one was fun to think about. I'm going to call it scared money. So if you are spending your scared money, so you're saying, hey, we're in super deep and we really need this marketing partner to rescue us essentially, and need these quick wins to really start moving the needle, or whatever the term is. That's going to be a problem. And it's not because we're bad at what we do, or agencies are bad at what they do, or freelancers or contractors are bad at what they do. But it does take time, and it does take energy, and it does take time to learn industries or learn your unique kind of position in that industry. And so if you're spending your last dollars just kind of throwing up a prayer, like that's going to be a problem. And I would say that's what we've seen. That people have hired us. We didn't know that until, oh, wow, you are making the decision whether to keep your business open or not. Don't spend it on us, figure out, you have a lot of other things that you should spend your money on. So that's one of the things. I would say also, if you don't have the bandwidth, so back to kind of that time and effort type of a thing that makes partnerships successful. Like if you don't have that bandwidth, you don't have the time that you're willing to put into it, that's the worst thing as even like an agency on the receiving end is that, all right, we're ready to go. And then it's like crickets on the other end about feedback or about deliverables or about setting up meetings or about any of those types of things. And so just kind of looking at like if you're the one that's going to run it, or you've got a team that's going to run that relationship or something, you just got to make sure they have bandwidth.
Those are good points.
I guess the other piece too is, I mean, it is back to like those unset expectations. Like if you don't spend the time to talk about what your expectations are and what a successful partnership looks like, I mean, probably 10 out of 10 times you're going to get let down by the agency that you hired. And so you have to like talk to them about that and just be super transparent, be really human about it. You know, like we're all humans. We all are trying to, you know, in our scenario, we're all trying to like lift up the other, you know, the client and help them improve. And we want to believe in them and those types of things. And so give us that opportunity, or give the agency the opportunity. And then the last piece, or last note I wrote down, was just a proven process. So if you've hired an agency that doesn't have a process, that you're going to have a challenge. And I say that from a like selling to clients and not having a process years ago, and now being at the spot where we have a proven process from almost every service that we deliver. And I think the way that I almost look at it is if you sign a contract with an agency and that agency internally goes and just, you know, high five, super pumped, and then they go, oh crap, how do we do this? Like that's going to be a serious problem, because they don't know how to get results every time, or at least, you know, continually progress towards those results over time. So like that proven process piece is big as well. So
no, I love that. And even like as someone who does, you know, does sales for Loanfer, like I don't like that, well, we'll just sell it and figure out how to do it later. That you can't, you need to have a way to do it, and otherwise you're never going to have success. My last question, which is my favorite question, is why is it important for your marketing agency to challenge you?
Yeah, this one is such a good one. I mean, first of all, like you don't want, and so I run an agency, I run a business. I've got, you know, we have 15 employees, at least at the time of this recording. And if I hired people that were just like yes men and women, like they just said, yep, absolutely, they never question anything, we have like a very low ceiling of where we're going. Because it's all based on my knowledge, what I want to do, I'm in control, all these things. That's great, I guess, if you just want to stay in your lane and you don't want to, you know, improve over time and those types of things. I'd say it's the same thing with an agency. It's the same thing with vendors. It's the same thing with, you know, people that you hire to help your company achieve some business result or objective. You want them to be challenged. You want them to challenge things. You want them to go, hey, I understand that. I hear what you're saying. Let's look at it through this perspective. And I think the other thing, just speaking of perspective, like, so if you're a business owner, or you're a marketing director or whatnot, it's awesome. You're working on your product, your service. It's amazing. And I just kind of, if I reflect on like actively right now, we have 30 clients. And so we're going to have different perspective than you have based on your one position that you've got, and your one campaigns or 5 campaigns you're running and your one initiative and that type of thing. So let us provide feedback and help you improve it. Cause at least at our agency, we want to have that belief. We want to have the belief in the companies that we're working with and the clients we're working with. And oftentimes I call it like renter versus owner mentality. You know, and so if like, you know, if I'm renting a house, I might have a different viewpoint of that house, energy that I'm willing to put towards the house than if I own the house. If I own it, I'm probably going to take care of it maybe a little bit differently than if I'm renting it. Neither are good or bad, and I'm not advocating for those, but we tend to have more that ownership mentality around, no, we want to see our clients succeed, and we're going to really do what it takes to figure that out, and their business is challenging and all those types of things. So anyway, I would say that's kind of the gist of why it's really important to have a marketing partner challenge you. And it probably stems from, hey, it's really important to have people in your life that challenge you to help you achieve the whatever it is, results or goals or things that you're trying to do in your life. So it's probably really similar in our side.
No, I completely agree. Like this is a weird analogy, but like the Titanic was warned about that iceberg way before it got there, and they didn't listen to anybody, and it sunk a huge ship. And like a business is a ship, and you have a lot of people depending on you. And if you have someone that's like, hey, there's something ahead that can help you, you know, steer clear of it, why in the world wouldn't you listen to them? So completely agree. Anything else you want to add or share before we close?
No, this is fun. I mean, I think, you know, we are all about providing value to our clients. And so, you know, there are conversations that we'll get in, like in the sales process, that will just help point them in the right direction. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't mean that, you know, okay, we'll not talk to you unless you're going to sign a contract. Like, no, that's not how this goes. So I think that this guide and this kind of like these questions and those types of things really are to help kind of, benefit people from them. I really hope that if you listen to this and then you wanted to schedule a call, or you want to talk to us, you'd ask us, hey, what's your proven process? What does your team look like? Like spin, spin it back in our face, and ask us, because you should have, like, people should have answers to those types of questions. If they're kind of worth their weight and the fees that they're charging, those types of things. So if there is any ways we can be helpful in helping people kind of sort through and navigate that process, we want to be. So
cool. Well, thanks, Tyler.